experts. The car maker says 2015 and 2019 MKC models could catch fire even when it's not running. Lincoln recommends parking the car outside. The battery monitor sensor can be damaged when the car gets worked on. Owners will be notified in the mail and get a free fuse installed to fix it. Well, gas prices could soon go up. Saudi Arabia says they are cutting crude oil production. They're cutting their oil output by 1 million barrels a day starting next month. The rest of the OPEC countries are extending their production cuts through the end of the next year. The oil producers are concerned about a drop in oil prices and an expected supply glut. Well, the Labor Department says May was a good month for the government, healthcare, leisure, and hospitality sectors. The U.S. added about 339,000 jobs in May. Professional and business services added 64,000 of those jobs. The government sector added the second most jobs. Healthcare was third. Following the pandemic, leisure and hospitality added 48,000 jobs last month. Well, summer is here, and that means many kids are headed to camp. Some parents are using the buy now, pay later approach to pay for those camps. Worldline is one of the largest payment providers in the world. They say 4,000 summer camps and 1,500 sports leagues are accepting delayed payments. The company says sending a child to summer camp can cost thousands of dollars. All right, coming up, a familiar face in NASCAR taking the checkered flag today in the Enjoy Illinois 300. Kelly Price is back with those highlights next in sports. If they're in the black, please come forward. Officials in Rockdale County investigating after human remains were found there in Conyers. Deputies found those remains last night near Wilson Road. They're still working to identify the victim. They say they'll provide an update as soon as they learn more. Chamblee police searching for the man who shot a man in the stomach after trying to rob him. Police say the shooting happened on Cumberland Court. That was around 1:45 this morning. Officers say Mauricio Vasquez was walking with a friend when 6 men tried to rob them. They chased Vasquez through a nearby apartment complex. Someone fired several gunshots, hitting that victim in the stomach. The good news here, that man is expected to recover. If you know anything that might help in this investigation, call Chamblee Police. Deputies are searching for the driver who left a pedestrian fighting for their life in Dawson County. The sheriff's office says the crash happened just before midnight where the Dawson Forest Road intersects with Blacksmill Valley Road. Investigators believe a white Jaguar sedan hit a pedestrian. The driver was heading towards Highway 9. The pedestrian is in critical condition. Investigators think the car likely has damage to the passenger side. Contact the Dawson County Sheriff's Office if you know anything. Our cameras were rolling as fire crews rescued that dog right there from an apartment fire. This was the scene at the Holly Ridge Apartments on the west side overnight. It's off Hollywood Road. Thankfully, no one was injured. Atlanta fire officials believe it was a small kitchen fire, but the damage was enough to leave the family without a home tonight. The Red Cross has stepped in to help. All right, we saw some sun clouds.
To add additional work requirements for childless adults receiving Medicaid, food stamps, and cash assistance. The final deal
And you know, I thought
already on the books for food stamps, it increases the max age from 49.
I gotta get my thought together on that one. I lost it.
Veterans, homeless people, and young people aging out of foster care from those requirements. Despite the tension and uncertainty that we saw over the debt ceiling for most of the year, this package leaves Congress with bipartisan support. Like in the House, we saw more Democrats than Republicans voting for the package in the Senate late Thursday.
And didn't Biden say he already reduced the deficit?
Against the deal. In Washington,
if he reduced the deficit, why were we fixing the default?
Thank you, David. The jobs report for May.
The weekend, a Chinese warship cutting in front of an American destroyer at dangerously close range. Many Republicans want to see the White House reverse course with China.
They're increasingly aggressive, revisionist power bent on displacing us as the dominant power in the Pacific, and I believe globally. So we need to wake up. By projecting weakness, by pursuing détente with the CCP, we only invite aggression, and they will only continue to test our boundaries.
We now have the video of the incident in the Taiwan Strait. A Canadian frigate with journalists aboard was astern of the USS Chun Hoon and filmed this Chinese warship cutting across the bow of an American guided missile destroyer at a dangerously close 150 yards, which sounds far when you compare it to a football field or two, but that's very close on the high seas. The incident took place just hours after Biden's defense secretary said the U.S. would not be, quote, bullied by China. The Chinese defense chief snubbed Lloyd Austin at a major defense conference in Singapore, but Chinese officials have taken meetings with other Biden officials. In fact, 2 from the State Department are landing in Beijing Sunday on the 34th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre. Here's National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan and a rebuttal from Senator Tom Cotton.
We will, I hope, soon see American officials engaging at senior levels with their Chinese counterparts over the coming months to continue that work. And then at some point, we will see President Biden and President Xi come back together again.
Biden administration officials should stop chasing after their Chinese communist counterparts like love-struck teenagers. It's embarrassing and it's pathetic. In fact, it projects weakness to China.
Republican lawmakers, including Senator Cotton, want to see the Biden administration spend more on defense. They say this year's defense budget amounts to a cut when you factor in inflation, and say more money is needed to deter China. At the White House, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.